All right. Well, hello and happy Tuesday. I am back for another episode of Tuesday Motivation and Conversation. I have been in this series, Attitudinal Disposition. Of course, it's Bridget Moody, your vision clarity, transformational vision clarity coach and strategic management consultant. And this is what I enjoy doing. And so I hope that you have really enjoyed the series on attitudinal disposition and you've had the opportunity to really go inside yourself and really assess, what your attitudinal disposition is about life, what it is about your business, what it is about what your disposition is about your, the trajectory of where you're going, your goals, your aspirations. What is your position? Because your attitude toward whatever it is makes the difference, and you have the opportunity to choose. So, what I want to do is take the opportunity to let me make sure that you can hear me good. So, what I want to do is I want to review um, where we have kind of been talking and flowing through. I want to review that. And so I kind of want to just go back through, and you'll need to go back and watch each of the previous sessions to make sure that you are on point and you're up to date with all the information and you bring all the pieces together. So I'm going to do a quick overview, and then I'm going to complete the last piece of the attitudinal disposition series. Attitudinal disposition, of course, I gave you the definition. In simple terms, or the practical and straightforward term for attitudinal disposition is simply mindset. What's your mindset? Do you have a fixed mindset or you have a growth mindset? Do you have a positive disposition or do you have a negative disposition? A mindset encompasses an individual's attitudes, their beliefs, and inclinations, which collectively shape their approach to various situations, whatever they may be, and their overall perspective on life itself. And I know you've run into people that, I don't care if the sun's shining, if it's raining, if the trees are blowing and it's an amazing, beautiful day. Their perspective is, ain't nothing going right in life, and it's raining out here, and the sun is shining. So everybody has an attitudinal disposition, and it comes from somewhere because it has to be nurtured. You just don't wake up and that's what it is. There are things in life that happens. So where does that come from? It is more easily understood and relatable way to express the concept of one's mental and emotional orientation. And so our mental state and our emotional orientation, 9 times out of 10, it comes from the experiences that we've had in life and the things that have occurred to us, with us, around us, and so forth and so on. So I talked about the definition for attitude, um, and I'll just give a brief. I won't do the whole thing, but I'm going to give you a piece of it. It is a multifaceted term that encompasses both practical and spiritual dimensions. It can be defined as a complex psychological state or disposition that reflects a person's feelings, their thoughts, and behavioral tendencies toward a particular object, person, situation, or concept in part. Um, then I talked about practical dimensions of attitude, and I talked about spiritual dimensions of attitude. So the five practical dimensions of attitude I talked about are behavioral aspect, cognitive aspect, affective aspect, social influence, and cognitive dissonance. Dissonance, I'm sorry, cognitive dissonance. The spiritual dimensions of attitude I discussed. Number one was faith and belief, gratitude and contentment, mindfulness, compassion and forgiveness, and social and service, and I'm sorry, service and altruism. Altruism. Then I talked about disposition. So the definition for disposition is a term that relates to a person's inherent qualities, tendencies, and behavioral inclinations. Notice this is disposition. It describes the prevailing mental and emotional characteristics. Remember, we talked about one's mental and emotional orientation is where this whole attitudinal disposition derives from. And it shapes an individual's responses, reactions, and general outlook. So I talked about last time I was on, week before last, the positive perspective of disposition. And those five areas were inherent positivity, resilience, kindness and empathy, openness to change, a big one, huge, and optimism. Okay. So, what I want to wrap up tonight, and here again, I may come back before the end of the year and dive into some of these aspects of um, attitude, beliefs, and inclinations. Attitudes, beliefs, and inclinations. I might come back and talk about those aspects. So there are five aspects of negative perspective of disposition that I want to talk about tonight. And then I want to share with you some things that are happening and coming up in the remainder of 2023 and 2024. So I got some announcements for you. So you'll want to make sure you have pen and paper, not only for these nuggets on um, negative disposition, but also for these opportunities that I have coming up. So number one is pessimism. A negative disposition tends to be pessimistic, with individuals anticipating unfavorable outcomes. This negative outlook can lead to self-fulfilling prophecies, hindering personal and professional growth. So if your position about everything is a pessimistic position, negative disposition, it can impact you, professionally and in every other way, spiritually growing and really going to the next level. It goes back to this mindset. Is it fixed or is it a growth mindset? If it's a fixed mindset, that means you just stuck. You're set in your way. That's the only way that you think it can be done. That's the only way you want to do it because it's comfortable for you. And it's the only way that you feel is the safe way to do it. All right. But when you have a growth mindset, you're willing to step outside the box. You're open to change, which is a part of the positive dispositions, and you allow yourself to grow outside of your norms. Okay. Number two is resistance to change rather than being open to change. If you have a negative disposition, you are resistant to change. Here again, this is why we have change management in corporate, because whenever there's a change in systems, whenever there's a change in software, whenever there's a change in management, if there is an acquisition or so forth and so on, there has to be change management because people have to be prepared for the changes that are about to take place. Whenever there are mergers, you may have two companies coming together. Well, some people may stay from company A, some people may stay from company B, and then there may be people that are hired that are new to company A and B. And so you have to have a change management process in order to help people because people are resistant to change. So if one person has always had an office at the front corner when they come in the door and their parking space is right outside of their door, they don't want to have to move to an office on the other end of the building or down the hall because that inconveniences them and it's different from their norm. And that's what they've done for 15 years. So they don't want to change. So I know that's maybe a humorous and a simple type analogy, but it's a true analogy. So resistance to change. Those with a negative disposition may resist change and new experiences. Okay. Now, I want to pause there for just a second. When we resist change and we resist new experiences, we are saying that life is this is as far as I can go. This is all I can do. This is all I can have. This is all I can be. That is not true. But if you're resistant to be open to new experiences and change, then it's certain that you'll never have new opportunities. You'll never grow. You'll never have never have more finances. You'll never be debt free or whatever the case may be. You have to be open to change. But when you're resistant to change, that is a negative disposition. Resisting change and new experience, preferring to remain in their comfort zones, right? I just talked about that. This resistance can limit personal development and opportunities. And this is the thing we have to be mindful of when it comes to opportunities missed. They are not obligated to repeat themselves. So if you're resistant to change or opportunities and new experiences, and you allow an experience to go by that you clearly could have walked into, there is no guarantee that that opportunity is going to represent itself. because it's not obligated to do so. And so there are two moments in life, that are important, the one we miss and the one we seize. And so you have to be a person who is open to change and not resistant to change in order to seize a moment and not miss the moment. Okay. Number three, cynicism. Cynicism often accompanies a negative disposition. Individuals may be distrustful of others' intentions and have a critical view of the world. Have you ever been around somebody that's just critical of everything and everybody? Cynicism, which can hinder the development of meaningful relationships. Because when you can't give a person a chance that you've never met, you don't even know them. I had this experience where I was in an environment and it was a person that was invited into this group. I did not know the individual, had never met the individual. My initial vibes were not, they just weren't, they weren't off the moon, really. I mean, I didn't get no fuzzy wuzzies, right? So I was like, okay, let me give it an opportunity. And so when we moved to the next segment of the day, I had the opportunity to then begin to have conversation and dialogue with a person. And it turned out to be a very good conversation. And I think the person really was able to really, you know, engage and really get something out of the conversation. And so you have to be open. But I could have been cynical and said, well, the vibe ain't good. I ain't saying nothing. I ain't sharing anything, or I'm not sharing anything. So you have to really be open to that. The fourth negative disposition is stress and anxiety. A negative disposition can contribute to higher levels of stress and anxiety. The anticipation of negative outcomes. Notice what I just said. I want to say, like my coach said, did you just hear what I said? Did you hear what I just said? The anticipation of negative outcomes. You know how many people are stressed, got high blood pressure, have panic attacks because they anticipate a negative outcome? Do you know how much energy it requires to anticipate a negative result or a negative outcome? And so sometimes that's why our blood pressures are so high when we go to the doctor, because if we go in with the anticipation that we're going to get a negative report, our blood pressure goes through the roof. Trust me, I know because I had done it. So we have to think about relieving stress, lowering our anxiety, and we can do that by being more positive. Isn't that something? Okay. The anticipation of negative outcomes can lead to chronic stress and related health issues. It can internalize, it can cause illnesses and diseases. Negative dispositions are not good. Keep in mind that sometimes things are negative and sometimes they are not necessarily what you would like them to be. But you can't be 100% negative and totally cynical and have all this stress and anxiety, and that proves to be healthy for you. It's not. It's not healthy. So that's something, if you are experiencing that, I want to encourage you to really take some time and go through this entire series, watch it, share it with somebody. I really want to ask you before I talk about this last one, and this is a good one. Oh my God. I'm thinking now that I may not be through with this, but listen, I want to ask you to share this video, share this series with somebody else. Will you do that? Because I think sometimes we don't realize how our perspective on ourselves, on life, how that affects us in other ways, right? And how it impacts us greatly, from being successful or not successful, meeting people, having meaningful relationships. And that leads me to number 5, impact on relationships. Negative perspective of disposition. One of the fifth one is impact on relationships. Listen to this. A negative disposition can strain personal and professional relationships. I'm going to say it again. A negative disposition can strain personal and professional relationships. I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back, way in the back. A negative disposition can strain personal and professional relationships. The constant focus on potential negatives can lead to conflicts and a lack of trust, because you're constantly looking for a negative outcome. You are constantly, probing for the worst. You're not giving any, thought process or opportunity for the positive. In summary, disposition refers to an individual's inherent qualities and behavioral tendencies, which can vary from positive, optimistic, kind, and resilient to negative, which we've talked about, pessimistic, resistant to change, and cynical. A person's disposition significantly influences their interactions with others, responses to challenges, and their overall, get this, quality of life. Here's the thing, your perspective, your attitude about you, the people around you, the things you do, the places you go, will impact your quality of life. Some of the things that we think cause us health challenges, those are not the things that are causing us health challenges. It's our perspective. It's how we think about things. It's our attitudinal disposition. And when we can shift our attitudinal disposition, 9 times out of 10, we can shift our life in a whole different direction. All right. Well, that is the teaching that I want to hang my hat on for the time being. And I'm really thinking about coming back with some other aspects of this because it is it is so crucial and it's so important that we really understand how our mindset and our mental and emotional orientation impacts us professionally and personally and how it impacts relationships. It is huge, super huge. So listen, if this was your first time tuning in, I definitely want to encourage you to take a moment, go back and take your time with pen and paper and review the other sessions. Now, before I go, I quickly want to share there's some things happening. So, of course, I just came out of Pen to Paper 2023 Business Summit. It was absolutely phenomenal. People are already registered. VIP is halfway sold out already for 2024. So, you want to go to the website. Early bird registration is available right now. You want to go to the website, to bridgetmoody.com, go to the event page, event tab, /event. It'll take you right there. And you can go ahead and grab your spot for VIP or regular registration, general registration. Now, the other thing is that Pen to Paper will be going on tour and we'll be doing workshops across the country. Now, this is going to be rolling out on the website in just a couple of weeks before the end of the year, but we will be in Atlanta, Georgia. The details are forthcoming April 27th. April 27th, we will be doing a Pen to Paper workshop in the Atlanta, Georgia area. So if you are a subscriber and you're in the Atlanta area and you want to be a co-host for the Atlanta Pen to Paper, definitely reach out to me on the website at bridgetmoody.com at the contact page or email me at info@bridgetmoody.com and we will get back to you and share all the information with you. You can also go to pen to paper, bridgetmoody.com /tour, and all the information is there. If you'd like to host, it doesn't matter where you are. You can be in California, you could be in Washington, you could be in New York, you could be in Michigan, you could be in Georgia, you could be in Florida, you could be in New Orleans, Mexico, Arizona. It doesn't matter. If you want to host a pen to paper workshop to help people who you know that needs help with structure, strategies, and systems for their vision, definitely reach out to us. This is all about helping people to have structure, have strategies, and have systems for what they do as solopreneurs, as aspiring business owners, as authors. It's endless. I have a team of people who have the goods. We have marketing, we have fashion and image coach, we have a speaking coach, we have a person who will help you to establish yourself and get you all prepared and structured for government contract readiness and the opportunity to get funding for whatever it is that you do as a business owner or as a creative. There's all kinds of monies out there. I'm telling you, this is a team from heaven. I'm telling you, you cannot find better people who love God and who love what they do to help you in this season, especially if you're a person who is transitioning out of corporate. This is something you definitely want to be a part of. So we'll be in Las Vegas with a group of youth in June. And so those dates will be coming out on the website, but we'll be in Atlanta, Georgia in April 27th. So wanted to let you know about that and then let you know about the opportunity to be a host for the Pen to Paper Tour. It doesn't matter what city you're in. Some of the cities we'd like to definitely be in is Houston, Charlotte, North Carolina, up that area, anywhere there. We'd love to be there. Of course, New York, we have contact in New York already. We have someone that has already reached out to us from Flint, Michigan. Definitely would like to do upstate Washington somewhere. And we've also had someone reach out from the West Coast, LA, California area. So, Chicago, listen, any of the major cities, reach out to us. Memphis, Tennessee, of course, I'm definitely looking forward. That's hometown to do in Memphis this year. So listen, in 2024, it's the year of open doors, doors of advancement. You got to have your heart open to receive, your ears open to hear, and your eyes open to see. When you think about vision, what do you see? You can't see it until you see it. That is the thing that you want to hang your hat on for 2024. What is it that you see for yourself in 2024? The last thing is my vision management book is out, that new release. So you can get that on the website. It has a workbook as well. I would encourage you to get them both. It is going to really help you to manage your vision and manage it well. If you don't establish a culture, people will bring their own. So this is going to really help you to establish culture, structure, strategies, and systems, and help you to really align yourself for these open doors that are going to be doors of advancement in 2024. And then the very last thing is my vision room coaching and mentoring program. That is going to be open through the 20th of December 2023, and it will close and it will not open until sometime in 2024, and I'm not sure when. But if you are a person and you say, I'm just really not sure what I need to do, where I need to go, the vision room is the ground floor. You can get in. It's only $49 a month, monthly subscription. And when I tell you, it's definitely an over delivery. You're going to get so much information, collective wisdom. There will guests that'll be coming into the vision room and sharing information. So you want to go to bridgetmoody.com/mentoring and go ahead and get subscribed, right? To the vision room. We meet twice a month, and then you get trainings in between those live sessions, as well as the opportunity to have some one-on-ones. It is the place that you want to be and preparing yourself for your vision in 2024. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in the vision room. Go get registered right now. Go subscribe. It's only $49. Look, that's a Christmas present to yourself. Go get subscribed to the vision room. I'm telling you, the coaching and mentoring program, people are they're moving by leaps and bounds. They're getting the hands-on, hand holding and walking them through the process, and they're getting the connections and the resources that they need. So we'd love to have you in the vision room. We're going into our 7th month. It has been a phenomenal time frame, a phenomenal season for aspiring business owners and entrepreneurs, authors, and the like. And so we have been making some significant strides. We'd love to see you in the vision room coaching and mentoring program, bridgetmoody.com/mentoring. And if you can't remember anything else I said, just go to my website, bridgetmoody.com, and just scroll around and see what you find. All right. Listen, I'll see you next time right back here. I'll be talking about it coming up in January. I'm doing a relationship series with a real special guest. And so you don't want to miss it. It is going to be a phenomenal series. We're going 4 weeks in a row. And so I'm looking forward to it. I'll tell you more about it next week. Have a good night. See you next time.